to A Well-Designed Business. My name is Luann Nigara, and I'm so glad you found this podcast. Together with my husband Vince and our partner Bill, we have grown our company Window Works from the ground up. So I know and I understand the challenges you face in running your interior design business. I also know that your talent alone isn't enough to ensure your success. So on this podcast, we talk about strategies and practical steps to help you grow your business. But make no mistake about it, we have our share of fun here too, mixed in with those aha moments that I love so much. This isn't fluff. Nobody has time for that. Whether you are a new interior designer or a seasoned designer, I am here to help you create and to manage the kind of interior design firm that you dream of. It's straight talk and it's action. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hi, welcome to A Well-Designed Business. Today, I have my friend and colleague Laurel Palmer with me. Laurel is a territory manager for Comfortex. If you were with us at Luann Live last March in 2019, you know that Comfortex was one of our featured sponsors. And maybe you were lucky enough to meet the family at Comfortex. Laurel grew up in Northern California, but is now loving life in the greater Boston area. Her bio says she's been in sales for more years than she'll admit, but whether she'll admit to how many years or not, based on today's conversation, it is easy to hear what a pro she is at the art of selling. Laurel has worked for furniture manufacturers, commercial office dealerships, building materials, and ultimately window treatments. She has been on both sides of the tape measure, having once sold window treatments to retail consumers before landing on the wholesale side with Comfortex as their New England sales territory manager. Laurel enjoys many aspects of her work with Comfortex, but you'll learn today that she is committed to helping her window treatment dealers make more money, that this is her priority. Now, I'd also like to tell you a little bit about Comfortex. Comfortex was founded in 1986 and quickly became known as a provider of innovative cellular shades. As the company grew, the product offering expanded to roller shades, sheer shades, wood and faux wood blinds, as well as cellular shades in every shape and configuration. Comfortex blinds and shades have won over 100 Window Covering Manufacturing Association awards, and they are currently distributed in over 50 countries. Comfortex is proud to fabricate the majority of their products in upstate New York. Acquired by Hunter Douglas in 2000, Comfortex is known for relentless innovation and continual improvements. Color Lux is a perfect illustration of this innovation, marrying unlimited color choice with green production processes and game-changing materials. And here's a little bit of window treatment trivia for you. Which window treatment retailer do you think was the 343rd company to open an account with Comfortex? Drum roll, please. Yes, Window Works. We were there at the very beginning, and I can remember the day that the owner of Comfortex, Tom, walked into our showroom, introduced himself to us back in 1986. I have to tell you, him and the Vin Man became fast friends at that moment, and they still are friends today. So we have had a long, long relationship with Comfortex, and I'm proud to say it's always been a good one. Now, before I introduce you to Laurel, I want to tell you about two very special events. The first is the brand new New Jersey chapter of the Interior Design Society is going to have a meeting at Exceptional Flooring Concepts in Whippany, New Jersey. I'll be there. I'll be talking about how to attract and service luxury clients. This is going to be on November 5th. 2019. Okay. So please head over to the RSVP on my website at luannigara.com and you can click on the tab Attend a Live Event. And then the second thing is a couple weeks later on November 18th, Laurel is going to be at Window Works for our Lunch and Learn. So this Lunch and Learn, we're going to be showing you the Color Lux line. We're going to be talking to you about sales practices and just generally getting a little bit more of the goodness out of this lady. She's a very smart lady. You're going to hear it in the show today. And I'm very excited to have her coming over to our showroom on Monday the 18th. All righty. Now, let me introduce you to her, okay? Hi, Laurel. Thanks so much for joining me on A Well-Designed Business today.
Thank you, Luann. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm happy to have you on the show too, Laurel, because you know that I have been so impressed by you from the very first time I met you. I shared in the introduction that you are with Comfortex, and you're not my sales rep. You are, I don't even know technically, are you the regional manager over my sales rep, or were you just with Laurel for that day?
I actually was with Laura for that particular day. My kingdom is New England. I
What I
call
thought.
on dealers in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine.
Okay, that's what I thought, because that's been, a distinction that I didn't need to know until all of a sudden just now when I went to describe it. I was like, I actually don't know the distinction. But the thing is that when it's funny, because I'm going to share this story about Comfortex and about you. When Comfortex came out with their Color Lux program a few years ago, the sales rep that we had at the time, great guy, love him, terrific, came in and told us all about the Color Lux program. But what was interesting was, and it so illuminates how sometimes when you are the one that's providing a resource or a solution to someone else, you miss what the real pain point is of the other person. And not through any fault of his own. I'm sure he was trained to do what he did, but he missed the pain point. And so when he came in and described to us that this new Color Lux by Comfortex, you had 800 different colors available in cellular shades and roller shades and all of this stuff. Like my eyes, I'm just sitting there going, who the heck needs 800 colors of cellular shades? Like it just
Right.
it's like and the thing is nice, but the entire presentation, I'm thinking, I don't need this. I don't want this. I don't need this. It requires me to learn a new product anyway. It requires me to carry a different sample book. Too old, long in the teeth for that crap. Not interested, right? Because, and I actually said, I know, I'm so bad to sales reps. I really am. Not mean, but just direct. It's like, stop,
I like
okay?
direct.
Exactly.
I like direct.
Yeah, I'm never mean. But I'm not going to sit there and say, that's great. Give me three books. I'm like, I don't need this. I'm sorry. I don't want it. I don't need it. But anyway, the thing was, all's I could see, all's my brain could compute was, at that point, I'd been selling window treatments for probably 33, 34 years, whatever it had been, and obviously had been a Hunter Douglas retailer for almost all of those since they opened. We opened, I think we got going before they did. But I knew that if I could go into a computer database and pull out how many cellular shades I had sold and what the colors were, if I had sold 8,000 cellular shades at that point, I would tell you 7,900 of them were in daisy white or linen white.
Right.
So I'm looking at this guy going, I've managed more than 30 years with two flipping colors. I'm like, we don't need 800. And so the thing is, Laura, though, and I know you know this, but I need to share it with everybody else. The thing is, when you and Laura came in and you did your presentation, you took it from exactly the pain point that we do have. And what you said was, how many times have you gone out and wanted to specify, you needed to find a cellular shade color, and the daisy white was good, and the linen white was okay, but you wished there was a color in between, and I just went, boom. I was like, what? And you're like, you see this deck here of 800 paint colors and the 125 bagillion of them that are between white and linen? You can pick any one. And I was like, oh, sweet Jesus, we're onto something, right, Laura? So tell us about this program.
Sense.
Yes, it made sense, and it hit me where I am because here's the thing. Here's why it hit me. I'd love to tell you because it's so important for me to have the exact color shade of white for every job I do. Here's why it hit me. It's because you know how many times I've sat there with a client for like 20 minutes going, well, the daisy white's too white and the linen white's too yellow and the journal's too gray. I wish there was a color in between. And I go, yeah, I know, but there isn't. Which one do you want? I have the daisy white's too white. And I'm just like, lady, these are the 3 colors.
Yeah, enough Goldilocks. Let's pick a color.
Right. And it's so I could care less if I actually have the perfect color. I just was like, yes, we could do this in 30 seconds now. Here's the right color. Let's order it. Move on.
Right. Well, the whole thing with Color Lux, it came about from an idea that we wanted to offer a lot of choices, but we didn't want to inventory any of the product. So we began print on demand. So we'll print pretty much any of those 800 plus colors on cellular, on roller, on, a whole bunch of other materials now. And 90% of what we sell is white or off-white, but what we're offering is choice. So grays are huge right now. And most manufacturers, they have 2, maybe 3 grays in a given line. We've got almost 30 grays. Yeah. Probably 40 if you count some of the ones that are bordering on blue or green.
Right.
And that gives you so much agility when you're out in the field with a customer who is very picky about their color. And you can probably see exactly where you need to go with that color deck. It doesn't cost any more to get it printed in any of the 800 colors, and it's never out of stock.
It's amazing. I'm telling you. I'm laughing because it's such a 180-degree different reaction from the first presentation, how many options I had instead of how many options I had within, to your point, the 2 color families that are most important, white and gray. And that was mind-blowing to me. And it is the fact that I'm going to tell you what, I would have paid more money for those colors. I would happily tell a customer sitting in their house saying, well, if you want daisy white or linen white or journal, it's this price. But if you want this little one in the middle here, it's 20% more. People would pay it. I mean, people, but the fact that it's the same price and it's never out of stock is just amazing.
I know. So we started with cellular, and the cellular took off really strongly. And then we added the roller materials. So we will also print on roller materials in, privacy and room darkening, but we'll also do the 5%. And so when you can get solar sunscreens in any of those 800 colors. Those golden ones are beautiful. And that really changes some of the ways that we have used some of these traditional hard treatments.
It's amazing. I didn't realize the solar screens. I must have missed that in the presentation. Because once I heard what the point of it was, I was just like, okay, you're amazing. And I think I even said to you, if you ever leave Comfortex, you call me, you can come work for me. I was like, this woman can sell like I'm no other. But I was like, I knew it was that you had me at hello and all right, well, you're amazing. And I'm going to keep listening to your presentation, but I could just write you the check for these books now. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. And, having the ability to walk into, you do it all. Well, WindowWorks does it all the time. You walk into a house, the color palette is usually set. You're working within a given color palette. They've already got their rugs. They've already got their wall color. They've already got their upholstery. And you need to sort of shoehorn in the color of the window treatment. Right. And using Color Lux gives you the freedom to really be able to go in with confidence and just say, I've got this exact color. We also match to a lot of the major paint colors too. So if somebody is, doing a Zen bedroom in Revere Pewter, you can do that. You can match that paint color.
It's amazing. I love it. And the thing is, because what's nice too is you're right, for window treatment professionals like myself that are, the last in. Okay. So the designer has been there. She or he has done all the furnishings, yada, yada. And, whether I'm doing direct to consumer and dealing with that situation, or even for all of the professional to the trade work that we do, to stand there with an interior designer and they're like, Luann, the colors. And I'm just like, sweetie, I don't know what to tell you. I can't to change it, you know? But now it's like, yeah, whatever you want, you know, just, you don't even have to. What's cool about being able to color match to paint and your 800 colors that are available, but now a designer doesn't even have to look at my sample books. A designer can say, I've got Revere pewter on the walls. I want the shade that color. Or the designer can look at her Benjamin Moore sample book and say, I've got Revere pewter on the walls, and this is the contrasting color I want on the shades, and pick it from their paint chart.
You can go to town with that. It's so easy, and it gives you the ability to do something that you haven't been able to do before ever. It's really unique.
Before ever. I love that line. Before ever. So here's the thing now. What I want to also express in this process is that, of course, I said this at Luann Live when I talked about Comfortex from the stage, because you guys were so awesome and were sponsors of the event. Of course, an interior designer can go to Comfortex and open an account if they want to. But that's not really their most efficient avenue, is it, Laurel? It's really their most efficient way to get their business done is through a window treatment professional, right?
I think that there's an argument to be made both ways. I would say that many of the window treatment dealers that I work with, they have a number of designers, probably like Window Works does, that come in and do all their work through them. And it's a beautiful relationship. It makes sense for both parties. The designer doesn't have to learn a whole new book of business here with measuring shades. The window treatment professional is really good at the measuring, the installation, and all that. I think that is a beautiful way to do business. Some interior designers are good at measuring, and they like to do it, and certainly they can open an account with Comfortex.
Absolutely.
But if you're in a major market and you've got a window treatment dealer that you like, or if you'd like to explore that, we can always put you in touch with a window treatment dealer in your market that you can partner with.
Yeah. And the truth is, I actually, at Window Works, we do have designers. Like, I'm thinking of Lori Jacobson from Repurposed Home. She is quite skilled at measuring hard window treatments. I'm sure she's skilled at measuring draperies as well. But the point is, she chooses, I would say, on 90% of her projects, to do her own measuring, her own ordering of the hard treatments, and then she has us do the soft treatments, okay? Oh. Sometimes she has us do the whole thing. It depends on the client, but she is one of the rare designers that we work with that will take that responsibility on. I mean, let's be serious. It's a responsibility.
It's a responsibility. Yeah.
And the truth is, and here's why I know it is, because I've been measuring them for over 30 years and I still make mistakes, but if I make the mistake, I eat it, right? If you make the mistake as the interior designer and
bought a shade.
Yes, you have bought a shade. Nobody is going to say, it's okay, you didn't mean it. Right. Plus, too, to your point, I think that it's what the designer's goal is. If you really want to learn the window treatment business and be able to do it yourself all day long, I encourage you to, Laurel encourages you to, but understand the responsibility that comes. But it's not going to be an effective relationship if you bop in and bop out. If you show up every 6 months, think that a manufacturer as large as Comfortex or any other manufacturer that you might be able to work direct with, they're not going to handhold you through the process to the level that you need in the beginning to learn. No. They're there to take an order from you, make that product and deliver it, not to teach you window treatments, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. And so we're not discouraging any designers by all means. And that, in fact, two things I do want to, one thing for sure I want to encourage. I want designers to take window treatments on as part of their service package. Window treatments are complicated. They're hard. They're expensive. The learning curve is long and wide and deep and frustrating. You don't mind me like talking about my own industry. Like it's like, putting a needle in my vein. No, not at all. I love it. No, but the point of it is it is all of these things. I'm being tongue in cheek on it, but it is all of these things. But the thing is, with anything that comes with something that requires a high level of expertise, comes with a nice high price tag too. So That's the point. And so it is a very, very viable way for an interior designer to add in a really terrific layer of profitability to their revenue stream. And whether they decide to learn it and do it themselves or access it through a dealer, I don't care. I just want them to think about it and understand that it shouldn't be left. So often, as a lesser experienced designer, whether it's in years or just in window treatments, will turn the client over to the dealer and say, okay, now it's time to go get your window treatments. I recommend you call this place. You don't need me. And the truth is maybe we don't need you, but your client didn't know that. And your client probably would have paid you to walk through that process, and you could have made a nice chunk of change.
Yes, exactly. I think that the partnership part of it is very important, and it gives the customer some peace of mind. They already like their designer. They already trust their designer. Now you're bringing in a partner rather than just saying, oh, and here's the people that will clean your house. It's here's my partner in this industry.
Right.
And she's going to come in, and we're going to work on your windows together and get you the best solution.
Right. And the truth is, when I say we might not need the designer, that's if I can walk into a completed room. But if I'm walking into a room that has yet to be painted and furnished, then I absolutely do, benefit from the designer being in that process. And so does the client, because the designer's the one with the vision. And I'm standing there talking to somebody. I'm like, well, what color is this? Oh, I don't know. And what's a rug? Like, I don't know. It's like, okay, lady, what am I supposed to do with this? Where's your designer? Let's figure this out.
Exactly.
Because that is the superpower of designers, to be able to, put all the things together and visualize it well before it's all been delivered, and to really understand, hey, a contrasting color on the window treatments here is going to be the ideal, or we need it to blend, or blah, blah, blah. So whereas I am much happier in my space if I can see it all and then tell you what I think you should do.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. I love it. Right. So, you had me at hello, and I totally loved it. And I do want to also say that you do approach being a representative of Comfortex differently than Laurel. How many reps do you think I've had in my business career, between all of the fabric companies, all of the hard treatment companies, all of the awning companies, hundreds and hundreds. And when I tell you that you stand out among the top 3 reps I've ever met in my entire career, you truly do. The way that you,
that's so nice. Thank you.
Yes. It goes to my first point, and this is where I want to get back to this now, because this lesson is good for all of us. You considered what would and is the pain point that I faced, not just, aren't we amazing, Comfortex? Look what we built. You literally said, how and why should this matter to a window treatment dealer? And that's what you led with. And if all of us learned that lesson, I got news for everybody. This is sales 101. And everybody says, I'm not a salesperson, I'm a designer. No. See, you're a salesperson. And when you are presenting your designs, when you are presenting a solution, when you are working out a problem with a contractor, you're selling. And this lesson, I want to pull this apart, and how you're so good at it, in coming at it from why and how was it important to me, as opposed to the accolades and the invention and the innovation that the company did. So tell us a little bit about your philosophy as a salesperson, and serving your dealers.
Well, I came to Comfortex about three and a half years ago, and I had sold window treatments before. So I understand what it's like to sell to homeowners, and to, go through the selection process, go through the installation process, go through the problem process, the recovery process. And I think that I have a little bit of a different perspective just going into talking to somebody. I understand some of your, how you say pain points. I understand what you're talking about. But I also, too, I think it's important as a rep to listen to people. You give them an opening and then they'll tell you what they need. And I think that's I mean, like you said, it's sales 101. People tell you what they want and then you give it back to them and you tell them how your product can solve their problems. I mean, it's great to go in and talk about your products and tell them every single operating system and, how you would reprogram this on site. And that's all important, but really, you want to talk to them in ways that their mind can capture it and then spit it back to you and sell it to their customers. Because, when someone likes and believes in your product, they're going to sell it.
Right. Right. Well, let's just share this, first of all. I mean, first I want to say 100%, I'm a broken record on this. People, if you ask good questions and you stop talking, they will teach you exactly how you can serve them. And when you can come up with the solution that serves them, you have created a win-win, and that's how you put sales in the book. Okay, that's number one. But the other thing is, think about this. Like, what did we do? You came in, you told us about this program, you told us about how it solved our problem. And what did we do? Like, did we jump our sales by like 4,000% in like 3 months? I mean, I think we went from like $1,000 a month to like 30 grand, 40 grand a month. Like, boom, we're all in, Laurel. Here we come.
Well, a lot of that too was, I could sense you guys were really, you were getting the message. You were picking up what I was putting down about the cellulars and the rollers. And that was all very exciting. But once I got to the fabric part of it, then the mood in the room just was insane because you guys all started, I could tell you guys were making eye contact with each other and you're going, because it's just, that's what happens. It's like the magic comes into the room and you start to see all the possibilities. And the first thing you guys said was, this is awesome. We are going to put together our own collection.
Yep. I said, I want a collection. I said, I want Kimberly to do it. And the thing was, what I remember is at that point, I had no idea that was something that you guys had done before. I honestly had no idea. I hadn't been on your website in probably 15 years, honest to God. Okay. Others in my company may have been, as far as for ordering, but to just go look at your homepage and look at your services, I don't need to do that. I've been working with you guys since 1984, I think it is, right? So it's like I would never go to your homepage and see that the prettiness that you're delivering, right? And so I had no idea that was a walk through, that it was just, hey, you've done it for other people, you do it for us. I just looked at it and I went, I want a collection. I want it to be private labeled by Window Works. I want Kimberly to work on it. And, can we do this? And you're just like, yes, I think we can. And I was like, well, that was easy. I thought I was going to sell that a little bit more. Nope. And then Friday, John called me, your VP called me 2 days later. And 38 East was born, right?
Exactly. And it's an amazing collection. I've seen it, I've seen it start, and I've seen what you came up with, and it is absolutely incredible. Kimberly did a phenomenal job.
Yeah. And the thing is, what's interesting is this collection is not designed by Kimberly, okay? So to be completely clear, what we did was Kimberly went through your how many dozens of patterns? 3,400. Holy crap. Now I have more respect for her. I mean, she went through this 3,400 patterns and then went through all the possible colors that could be, the 800 colors. And she picked, I don't know, 30, 40, I have no idea, patterns that she loved, that she felt were most relevant for design in where it is now and what she's facing in needs and consumers that she's dealing with. And she picked the colors that she thought were the nicest combination to present this collection, right? So she didn't design it, okay? But just think about that, culling 3,400 patterns, culling 800 colors. So it was, a tremendous effort on her part, and she did a fabulous job. But what I love is the door is open for her to actually now take the next step and design her own patterns. And then that will be a truly licensed collection for 38 East, which is the Window Works umbrella brand. And so it was a perfect way to start the process for her to get to know your team, the design team that she works works with Kurt is amazing. Everybody at your company is amazing. And just so collaborative and everything. Because if that hadn't been a nice little happy journey, it would have been like, yeah, we're not doing the next step. So it's nice to know that the next step is available to us and that you guys are an awesome team to work with. Yeah. And then we just, our sales just went through the roof because when we do something, we do it.
Exactly. And, I think each company has ideas about what they can sell from this Color Lux collection. And what really makes the 38 East collection great is it's going to sell in your area. Mm-hmm. A dealer down in Florida might be able to come up with their own collection that is completely different, but will sell beautifully down there. I have dealers that are just doing panel programs where they're going to sell a package of 2 stationary panels and a rod. And they can, because it's, one of the things to wrap your mind around with Color Lux is it's custom product at a fixed price. So there are no different fabric grades. All the fabric costs are the same. Mm-hmm. So any pair of panels is the same price. And they're never out of stock because we are printing to order. Right. There's no dye lot issues. There's no discontinued problems. And we can railroad the print and make a super long piece so you don't have to have any vertical seams on certain products.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That is amazing.
It is. And to just clarify why there is no dye lot problems or out of stock problems or discontinued problems, because the process is just what you said. It's print on demand and it's digital printing. So there's no, this run of ink and this run of dye and this run of this, took a little different, blah, blah, blah. It's digitally done so that it's absolutely 100% always exactly the same. And the other thing too is, of course, we have all different types of designers listening with their different business models listening. Look, I'm around the block a couple times. I'm not sitting here saying that this is, drapery fabric that is going to sit next to the couture collection at Kravet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody is pretending that. I'm not asserting that. What I'm saying is that there is always a ladder of services that you need to have at your access and available to you. And that the level of quality that this is, while it is from a design perspective, not Nate Berkus for Kravet, right? But it is not Bed Bath & Beyond or Target in a package. You see, there's a need for the in-between level there, and that's what this market serves. And to serve it so efficiently, see, that's the other thing. If Kimberly goes in or I go into a customer this summer and sell them something, and next summer they want to add to it, it's exactly the same. There's no, it's discontinued, I'm sorry, the dye lot's different. Right. So these are benefits that, features and benefits. It's where are you at? What do you need? There's something for every market and even at Window Works, there's times that we are going to have a $300 a yard fabric from the David Phoenix collection. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if his collection has fabrics that expensive, but you get my point, right? And then other times that we need to do and want to do this. Right.
And I think every design project, this isn't going to take the place of these beautiful fabrics that are embroidered and they're beautiful textures. And every project is going to have a few of those fabrics. Where this product works is backing up that product. It's like a little understudy. Right. You are able to take the color and use it in a way like maybe you need a Roman shade behind those drapes.
Right. Maybe you need exactly the color you need to go with that amazing couture fabric from Kravet, right? It's like the exact one that won't do if it's a little off.
But it's also good for people who just want, a linen look and they want it in, they can't decide, but hey, we've got 60 different beiges. So they can find that specific khaki color and we can print it on linen and they are good to go. Right.
Or, secondary areas, your kids' bedrooms, your everything, whatever. It's amazing. I love it. So let's go back to, again, I get down these rabbit holes, but the way you approach supporting your dealer network and helping them grow their business. And the reason listen to me, everybody, why I'm bringing this up is because the analogies of what Laurel does is exactly the ways that I would love you to open your mind and think about the way you handle your sales process, your presentation process, your problem-solving process with your clients, because she is genius at this.
So one of the things that I did when I first started at Comfortex was I came up with my own mission statement. And my mission statement is to help my dealers make more money. It's real simple.
Love it.
And one of the things that I try and do with my dealers is to see where they're, what they're buying. And if they're buying the really inexpensive products, then we have a discussion about why they're doing that. And it costs just the same amount to install 25 Color Lux cellulars as it does to install 25 really inexpensive cellulars. So let's change your let's change your mind. Let's change your habits. Let's start selling higher priced products. And that was kind of a revelation. A lot of customers had no idea that their profitability really changed dramatically when they started selling higher priced products. It seems real simple, but it was an eye opener for them.
And I know that to be true because, of course, that's been the Window Works, mission forever. We always knew that we wanted to serve the higher level, the more discerning clientele I've shared it on a podcast before. I remember when Home Depot opened and Budget Blinds opened. We had been in business before these companies came to our area. And now all of a sudden, where before that, the only place you could get a custom window treatment was to go to a window treatment dealer, a professional like us. Right. Now you could go to a box store and get it. And we had this.
What are you getting?
Yeah. Well, we had this head spin moment of, are we going to race to the bottom with them? Like now, we're selling 100 at the time, 100 Douglas, and still too, we'd sell 100 Douglas, 100 Douglas, pleated shade of cellular shade at $200 for the window, because we're talking about the 80s now. Now it's $1,000 for a window.
Right, exactly.
But $200 for a window, or should we sell this one at 120? And my husband looked at us and he's just like, it's going to cost us the same amount of gas, the same amount of time, the same amount of installation time, the same amount of admin time. And we really made it, we leaned into the value of the better product, the warranties, the components, everything, and let the box stores run the other way.
Right. People are so funny about their own ideas of what their customers need. And they're so afraid of showing people the best product, and they go right to the middling product or the cheapest product because they've made an assumption, right? And people don't always buy what you think that they're going to buy. And I think that you owe it to your customer to show them all of the options. And if you have to memorize different price points, then memorize different price points. And if somebody says, well, what should I be expecting to pay for this window? And you can say, well, I've got my most expensive product is up around, $600 a window. And I have a very low cost product for maybe $150 a window. You might not want that product, but I don't know. And then you've given them a range, and then they can tell you where they want to go. And maybe you show them that they can put more expensive products in the public parts of their house, and then use the cheaper products for the rooms that maybe they don't use as much.
It's so true, because what I describe it is, don't save your clients money for them. I say that all the time, because and the thing is, and this is why this conversation, we're talking about window treatments, but we could be talking about sofas. We could be talking about built-in furniture. The point is that you have been asked in as the professional. And so I say it all the time. If there's a service that I can avail myself of as a DIY, then great. If I go in and say, for instance, say I wanted to go and put a home automation video, like a TV sound system in with a sound bar and speakers and all of that stuff. You can hear, I know nothing about this. But if I go in and I want to go to any retailer and have a 20-minute conversation with the employee of the month, month there and basically do this myself. If I do all that and I spend 10 grand on it, right? And then the first time I have a party and my friends come over and I'm just rocking and I'm like, yay, I've got the best sound system. And the first friend says to me, oh, your sound bar is supposed to be, sideways, left side and right. And your speaker is the boombox speaker instead of this speaker. I just look, I would be like, I made a mistake. But if I hired an AV guy to do it and I put even the same 10,000 or I put 5,000, I could put less. It doesn't matter. That's the point. The first person that says to me, you've got the wrong speaker or you've got the speaker in the wrong location, I am going to be pissed because I paid for the advice of what I thought was a professional. And then if my friend says to me, this is what it is, this is what it is. Oh, well, you could have had that, but it would have been twice as much money. So I guess that's why they didn't suggest it. Whoa, here comes the steam. Because let me decide if I want to spend twice as much money. Let me knowingly decide, that's the top of the line, I'll take middle, but don't sell me middle and top of the line is out there and I didn't get the chance to know about it.
Right, exactly. And people surprise you all the time.
That's right.
And it's not your money, bunny. You can't make that decision for a homeowner. It's foolish.
Well, and the truth of the matter is the other thing I often say is the word expensive has no meaning. So I teach the 7-step sales process for exciting windows. Okay. And this is a great network of window treatment dealers that we get together and we mastermind and we support each other and we help each other understand new ways to do things. It's an absolutely amazing network of window treatment dealers. But for any of the people in Exciting Windows or anybody that's not in Exciting Windows, you can take this 7-step sales course that I teach for them. And there's 2 things that happen in this course. Number 1 is, to your exact point, is we teach that you need to be able to do what we call eyeball estimating. So for window treatment people, it's exactly as you said, Laurel. I have to be able to stand there. And if it means that I have to get in my price book for an hour a day and just spend an hour a day comparing a 35 by 48 duet to a 35 by 48 to woodbine to a 35 by 48 to, Color Lux, so then I need to be able to do that to a Roman shade, a flat Roman, a hobbled Roman. It's no different than a designer. They should know the price point for the chandelier at this point, the copy at that point, the complete knockoff at that point, whatever it is, because in that moment, we're not saying that the right path to sales is to take the long road and price every single product to completion, to absolute dollars estimate, and because that is a waste of time. All right. But the thing is, if you can eyeball estimate it, you can know the same person that says, I have no budget, you find out very quickly what their budget is. Say, so no budget. Okay. So sofa $10,000 fits. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, I'm sorry. I thought that was the whole room. Right. And then the other thing that I always teach in that class is expensive is a word that has no meaning. Yep. It absolutely has no meaning. You may as well use the word, I don't know, dish towel, because expensive to you is completely different than expensive to me. And more importantly, expensive to me means different things based on what I might give up or I might get.
Exactly.
Right? I might tell you, I don't want to spend a lot of money on this room design or this sofa or this window treatment. But if you take me at my word and you decide what's not a lot of money to you, then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second. I thought we were going to show me custom.
Right. So now you've got a customer that is unhappy because they didn't really get a very good solution. They got an okay solution. Right. And what have you done to your profit? You have eliminated a lot of money. You've just taken it right off the table. And, you always show people the range. And it's, psychology. You show them something very low priced, you show them the middle, you show them the top. And they're going to choose either the middle or the top.
That's right.
Almost no one goes to the really low range,
Right.
especially if you tell them, I really think that either the middle or the top would be perfect in your house.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, I always like dealing with people that are confident. I want somebody who can come in and just give me their opinion, tell me what I should do, and give me options and be really secure in how they're presenting them. And for anybody that's, in this business, I think confidence is a key component to your success.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know your business inside and out. You have to know your worth. I know you talk about that all the time, is know your value, but you have to not only, be really secure in what your value is, but you have to be able to go back and say, and here is why, and go through and make a list. Write down everything you do, write down all the reasons that you are wonderful, and be comfortable saying them out loud.
It's the truth. It's so true, because we instinctively react positively to someone that we feel knows what they're doing, likes what they're doing, is excited about sharing that expertise with me in my project, right? It's all of that stuff. And the fact that something would cost $50,000 or $60,000 doesn't matter. Because if something costs 50, am I not going to spend 60 to make it perfect? Of course I am. Of course I am. If something costs 500, am I not going to spend 600 if it's better for me? Of course I am. That's the thing. This holds true whether you're buying a $4 piece of apple pie, you know what I'm saying, or you're buying a $400,000 complete reno of my home. I want it. If I'm going to go in my pocket and spend money, I want to get my full value for that. And that's where this whole thing flips on its head, is us as business owners, as interior designers, as window treatment professionals, is understanding that value and, like, to your point, feeling it and being able to say, this is why it's worth it.
Right.
And the other thing that I know that we agree on, Laurel, is to not start compromising a price that we have delivered if we're not going to take away services or, value on that thing. We can't just lower price. Talk to us a little bit about how you help your dealers and the people that you work with understand that.
Well, the minute that you start to talk about price, you identify yourself as being a price conscious vendor. And you're not selling value anymore, you're selling price. So if you are trying to get me to come into your store, or you're trying to get me to buy online and you're offering 20% off or free installation, I'm already thinking that, this isn't maybe the transaction that I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. If you're selling value, then you are, from the minute that you start your process with your customer, you're talking about why it's a great thing to work with you.
So, and the point of it is the dichotomy is that we want to bring our emotion to the process in all of the best ways. We want our emotion to be seen and heard and expressed in our joy for what we do and that what our finished product is that we deliver. But we don't bring our emotion to the project in the point of worrying about what they can have or they won't have and worrying about the outcome in that way. So if somebody is going to invest their time and money into the ultimate perfect outcome, awesome. Win-win for everybody. But if somebody decides that they're not going to invest their time and money into the perfect ultimate outcome, then that stinks and you don't get the best pictures, but they don't get it anyway.
Right.
They get what they're willing to pay for. And that's where we have to leave our emotion out of it. Okay. Understand who you are, what your product is, what you're selling, how are you doing it, how are you helping your clients. You're making clients' lives better. That's a simple truth. And, you're not knocking on doors and opening up their front door and saying, you must have an interior designer because your house needs it. They're coming to you. They're recognizing, I want an interior designer because my environment needs it. So you're not forcing it on somebody. They're asking you for it, and because they initially have an understanding that it's important to them. All you have to do is continue to reinforce that it's important to them and show them the ways that you deliver that value and importance to them. And then you can have your fair price. You can earn your fair price on it. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You need to stand there and proudly ask for the order, whatever it is. You have to ask for them to take the step to do business with you.
Yep.
And if you're honest and you are confident and you are positive, they're going to take that step gladly.
Yeah, I love it. Oh my goodness. Well, I could go on for days on this subject.
We could just talk all day.
Exactly. Exactly. So the truth is that the ultimate here is that Comfortex is a company that we really love at WindowWorks, and that I wanted.
Thank you.
Yes. And you are magnificent at your job, and Laura as well. You're Laurel, but my individual sales rep is Laura, and she's also awesome at her job, and we're really getting to know her and appreciate her value as well. So it's awesome.
And we are a national company. So right. we have territory sales managers just like me all across the country, and they're all pretty awesome. Right. So, if somebody would like to get in touch with Comfortex, either to open an account or to find a dealer in their neighborhood, we can help you. We can send an email to customercare@comfortex.com and just put Luann Nigera in the subject line, and we'll do whatever you need us to do.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And of course, they can also get their own little book of 38 East, the collection, curated by Kimberly. So they can have that book sent out to them and start to specify that product if they're interested in it. And then, who knows where we go from here. But I really do. One other thing is, I just want to say that I appreciate that you look at your dealers holistically. Right. So from a standpoint of understanding that if you help them in not just the product available at hand to sell, but the way that they present, the way that they sell, the way that they understand it, that it benefits everybody, both you and them. And so that's pretty awesome. I love it.
Yeah, their success is my success. Yeah. And if I can help them grow their businesses, then my business in turn will grow. So, you just have to help each other out. And I really do appreciate and like all of my dealers. So this has been a great experience for me working for Comfortex.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm so glad that you joined us today. Appreciate it, Laurel.
Me too. Thank you.
I wonder if you are one of the people who has read my first book, The Making of a Well-Designed Business. If you did, then you know in that book, I pretty much lay out Business 101. It is essentially the entry-level business course that you don't get in design school. And the very first chapter says, before you pass go, before you collect your $200, the minute you open your business, actually before you open your business, you must take a moment and think about and establish your company mission. It sounds like a pie in the sky thing to do, right? It sounds like when you go for a run and think, I don't need to warm up. I don't need to stretch after. You can get away with that for so long. But if you really want to excel as an athlete, you know that warming up and stretching are as important as the training part. And this is the same. You have to decide what you stand for, why you are in business, and how you will be in your business, how you will conduct it. Okay, this is a non-negotiable. And so what I love is, take Laurel. She's managing her career, her position at Comfortex as if and as the CEO of her territory. Okay. In starting the position, she told us she set a personal mission to help each of her retailers be more profitable. And I can tell you she delivers on this process. You could hear it too, I'm sure. She's a skilled sales pro, and she is committed to the success of Comfortex as well as to every account that she does business with. I just love it. I love it a lot. Right? Now, If you are either a window treatment professional or a designer who is interested in handling your own window treatment orders, and if you want information on the opening account, or maybe you want to find a qualified retailer in your area like WindowWorks, you don't want to handle this yourself, okay? Please reach out to Comfortex to learn about all of the outstanding products that they offer. Like Laurel said, send an email to customercare@comfortex.com. And she said, put my name, Luann Nigara, in the subject line. I think they'll be pretty sure to give you the red carpet treatment if you do that, all right? Now, let's not forget, Comfortex will be at the IWCE again this year in Charlotte, this coming March 2020. I'll be there too. You can see all of their products in person, see them work, see all the colors, the fabrics, all the operating systems, all right? It's an awesome way to continue your education in the window treatment products and services, all right? You can go to the show notes for information on IWCE, the International Window Covering Expo. All right. Now, one more thing. If you are thinking about adding window treatments to your ladder of services, as my friend Nancy Ganzekaufer would call it, please check out the recent WTF episode, number 462 and number 471. These are episodes where Vita of Vitalia Inc. and I analyze the two different business models that you can pursue as an interior designer. All right. Lots of information, lots of resources. Keep in mind, you can always get everything that we do here on my website, luannnigara.com. And if you want to be in the know, always please be on my email list. And you can do that. You get a double whammy. You can go to luannnigara.com/goodies, where you'll get access to all of the resources and the free PDFs and the downloads we have. And you'll also be put on my email list so you know what the upcoming events and opportunities are to get together and connect with me. All right. So lots to think about. What are you going to do? What's your takeaway for today? All right. Could be a gem or a nugget that Laurel shared that opened up your mind. It could be that you think about adding window treatments as one of your revenue streams, okay, and you reach out to Comfortex. All right, something. You got to take an action, right? That's the only thing I ask you every single time is to take it from your notebook into action. All right? Decide to be excellent. Thank you so much for joining me again today. This podcast is a production of WindowWorks, your resource for custom window treatments and awnings. To learn how we can help you on your next interior design project, go to www.windowworks-nj.com. And if you're interested in working with me on your business, either through masterminds or one-on-one coaching, or you want to know how to get my book, The Making of a Well-Designed Business, or you just want to know what's going on in the podcast land and where I'm going to be, all of that is found at luannnigara.com. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.